Hello, my sewing friends. This is the 5 questions, 1 take tag. I'm Jen, and this is my sewing room, and I am part of a Facebook group that was started by Lindsey from Inside the Hem, and it's for YouTube creators, and we talk about all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things related to being a YouTuber in the sewing community. And one of the things that she suggested that we all do was a challenge each month, kind of a, let's all do this thing. And this month it is a tag video where we answer 5 questions in 1 take. And that means no editing, no pulling out the stumbling over words, none of that. You just sit down and go for it. And, I'm an editor, so this is going to be challenging, but let's just get straight into it. There are only 5 questions, so this shouldn't take very long. First up, tell us about your sewing journey. Like when you started, people that taught you, all that kind of thing. You know what? I have gone on ad nauseum about this. I recently was interviewed by Andra from Andra Makes, and I will link that up in the cards. And I was also part of the seamstress tag some time ago. I'm thinking like 5 years ago. And it seems like the Get to Know Friday Sews tag. So, I've talked about this a lot. So if you want to know about me and where I started and how I got here, let's just suffice to say that those videos will tell you. And I started when I was 9, and here I am. Question 2, describe your space. What does your space look like? Well, I have some videos on that too. So I'm just going to direct you to those. I'll leave them in the cards and also in the description box below. I needed to create a space, so I did it, and then I moved it and I created another space, but that video has problems. So I created another video to replace that one. And then I redid it recently. So all manner of, showing you around. So I'll just leave that. Question 3, what's it like to be a sewing YouTuber? You know what? I think it's the best fun I've ever had. I really do. I love learning all the time. I'm always learning about a new way, a new kind of method of sewing, a new little hack, a new little trick. I've, obviously I've been sewing a long time, but you forget stuff, and then you think, oh yeah, I knew about that, but I learned about that from all of you. The editing, I didn't know anything about editing until I became a YouTuber. So that's been a challenge, but it's been a really fun challenge because I'm always discovering new things about that too. Let's see, the community that it has created. And I have decided that my mission statement is I want to create community in the sewing area of YouTube, in that little niche. Yeah, I want to bring people together over their love of sewing. I just want to gather everybody in and do that. So I think we're getting there. Friday Sews has been a huge thing. What do I want to say? It's been a huge vehicle to accomplish that. And so, it has its challenges being a sewing YouTuber. I mean, obviously there are times when, I love putting those little GIFs into my videos, but, I have an idea and I spend 2 hours trying to, make the search term, tell the thing what I want, and searching for the right thing. So yeah, there are challenges sometimes, and I'm a procrastinator, and I am inevitably going to wait until Friday afternoon to film my Friday Sews. So I'm trying to get better about that, but honestly, it's really fun. It is probably the best fun I've ever had. Some of that, I think, stems from the fact that I've been performing, or at least up in front of people, since I was in high school. In college, or during my college years, I traveled and sang with a music group, and then I got into producing and leading and singing. I've been singing my whole life. but like singing on a stage pretty much my whole life. So got into that at my church, and I was always a worship leader or on a worship team or involved in some way. For a while, I sat in the sound booth and I kind of organized the whole thing. That was fun too. So yeah, that has helped in my YouTube journey because I'm not afraid to speak to a camera or be in front of people. That doesn't scare me. Where it does a lot of people. I think that's kind of a public speaking thing. You just kind of have to do enough of it until you get over it. Because believe me, when I was in my 20s, I looked like a scared to death mouse on stage, and I am not that at all. So anyway, I think that's all of the stuff related to becoming a sewing YouTuber, and what it's like to be one is really fun. Number 4, question 4, what was your most memorable project? And I'm assuming this means good and bad. Like, what's your best one? What's your worst one? Well, I'm not, you know what? I've had so many fails that I'm not even going to begin to try and tell you those. But I will tell you my 2 most memorable favorite ones. And for a while, I had a bridal business, and I would have brides come to me and they would show me a picture and they'd say, this is what I want. And I would make that for them. I would just Frankenstein patterns together and come up with whatever. And yeah, I just made that that's what I did. And I had a girl come to me. She was a friend of a friend, and she said she wanted me to make her gown. And I used this lace. This lace is gorgeous. You can see it's just tulips and flowers, and it's all on netting. But with this lace, what I did was I cut some of it away, and I have some, wow, it's in my lap. I have some white where it's already done like that, and I wanted to show you what it actually looked like on her when I did it. This was in 1988, so of course the style was 1988, and I don't even know where I got this, but see how it has cutouts? That's what I did to all of this, and made the bodice out of that. And then it had a cathedral train, and one of the notable things about that was that it was miles of hemline. And I sat and I put a sequin, a gold sequin, because she wore gold and it was, you know, the candlelight color, gold sequin and a pearl. And I went around the entire hem and did that. That took a long time, but it was such a labor of love. She looked so radiant. She was stunning in this dress. I was so proud of this dress. I'm still so proud of that dress. I just think that was probably my masterpiece of sewing. I just enjoyed the whole process, and she was delightful. And yeah, I made all the bridesmaids gowns for that wedding, and that was kind of fun too. It wasn't as much fun as the dress, but gosh, I was so proud of that. I'm still so proud of that dress. I'm glad I have photographs of it. Sorry, dropped my questions. The other most favorite, most memorable thing that I did that I'm kind of proud of too is my daughter's wedding gown. I have one daughter that's married. She's my oldest daughter. And she had been engaged and got a gown and spent, I don't know, $1,800 on the gown, I think. And so, you know, I'm sure it's not the most expensive gown she could have gotten, but it wasn't cheap. So she bought the gown, and then she broke off the engagement. And so the gown kind of languished away in a bag in a closet at my house, of course. And then she got engaged again to her husband. And so she did not want to have to spend the money on another gown, you know, wisely so. She had tried to sell this gown, and you know, she just was never going to be able to recoup the money that she spent on it, or even most of it, you know. So we decided we'll revamp the gown. So of course she came to me and said, Mom, can you turn this into this? And I said, okay, I can try and do that. This gown was one of the Disney copies of gowns. I forget who it was made by, but it had row after row after row of these flounces going down the back of the dress. And so she didn't want that. She wanted it to be angled, and I can show you pictures, but she looked stunning. I will say that it was a strapless dress, and so it wasn't fitting her quite right. And she lived in Alaska at the time, and she had come in about a week before the wedding. And I was not going to take that thing apart and have it be a mess, because I was the mother of the bride, also doing all the decorations for the reception and getting the flowers together, and then having all of her sisters coming to me and going, this doesn't fit right. Can you fix this? I said, all right, we're going to find somebody. And we did. We found a woman who made costumes in the town that was close, and she was expensive because it was, we dropped it off and we basically picked it up the next day. So that was why it was so expensive, but totally worth every penny, worth it, because she felt like it fit better, and it, you need to feel like $1 million in your wedding gown, and she looked like $1 million. So those are my two most memorable things that I've done that I've been the most proud of. Last question. What piece of advice have you received that has helped you in your YouTube sewing journey? Gosh, I've gotten a lot of advice from a lot of people, and it's been really helpful. But I think the best piece of advice or thing I've read or, concept I've stumbled on or thing that has always been true in my life is that it's not about me. It's not. My YouTube channel is not about me. The world does not revolve around me or what I like to sew or what I want to make. It's not all about me. It's about the people that watch my channel, like you guys. It's about those of you that subscribe. Thank you. And there's just so much more than me. It can't revolve around me if it's going to be a success. It has to revolve around you and everyone else. And, like I say, that's true in my life. I have to remember that it's not all about me. I will be taken care of. My needs will be met. My wants will be considered. All of that's going to happen. I don't need to fuss about it or worry about it, even though I probably do way more than I should. But in the end, the world doesn't revolve around me. I am not the sun and everybody else is the planets. No, it doesn't work like that. I don't need to be the center of attention. What I need to be, and by the way, I never wanted to be the star person out on the stage doing the singing. I wanted to be the backup singer. In fact, my dream has always been to be a backup singer for James Taylor, because he's fantastic. Okay, but back to, it's got to revolve around everybody else. It really does. It's got to revolve around, for me, God. So that's just such a valuable thing to keep in front of you all the time. It's not all about you. It's not all about me. It's all about everybody around me, and not just keeping them happy, because that can be a trap, but considering their wants and needs before my own, putting others first, loving God and loving others. It's the basic way I try and live my life. It's what I've taught my children. It's a good way to live. So it's not all about me. That is the 5 questions, 1 take tag. And I don't know if this has had an open invitation to everyone, but you know what? If you want to jump in and do the tag and you're a content creator, then by all means, jump in and do it. And I think that will do it for me for now. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.